racing. The battle will be between three fast fountains on their home waters. The white F201 has new power, and the gold F257 is coming off a big win in Isla Mirada, their first of the season.
The challenge in the Super V class is how to use all that horsepower and still go the distance. These guys have been the best at it all year, but there's been a major change in the rival Citgo Superguard camp. And the well-crafted Scarab would love to crash the fountain party with a win here today for the big red boat.
And in the Fountain Super Series, Don Q ended their bridesmaid streak in Isla Mirada with a win. Now they may have the upper hand on their Fountain Mercury rivals. Only 9 points separating first and second place. The APBA made some shocking waves when 76 Throttleman Jerry Galbraith was suspended. And you may be surprised at the changes it brought to the Fountain-sponsored cat that ruled this class most of the year. And the name? JT.
I'm worried about JT. I almost would rather have Jerry back.
There's the pace boat going out, and right behind him, one of the favorite teams, the Warlock team, right here at the dock. They just started the engine moments ago. Another of the F1 favorites, Benny Robertson and Mitch Miller. How's it all going to shake out? We're about to find out.
The APBA is sponsored by SpeedMonster.com, the presenting sponsor of the APBA Offshore Pro Series 2000.
Carolina, the Fountain Mercury Offshore National Championships. Dick Crippen along with Rich Lures. This is a beautiful, scenic, and quiet place most of the year.
I'm paying $5 grand to tear that boat down to the bearings.
Richard Granville filed a formal protest for Benny Robertson's F-160 after it set a new kilo record of 89 miles an hour. Benny doesn't object to the protest, but doesn't like Richard's boat side manner. Now it's a little dicey in the inspection area.
Well, I think that's one of us, part of the rules. If he wants to protest me, that's fine. It's kind of a crybaby syndrome.
I'm saying that Benny's boat ran really fast, and just to keep competition on an even playing field, I'm going to say, you know what? I don't think his motor's legal. His motor may be very well legal, but I'm going to put up the $5 grand, have it torn down to make sure it is. And if it is, we're going to say outstanding, and Reggie builds space shuttles.
He threatened me and cussed me in front of some officials. The threat is where he made a mistake, and that's where I can go with it. Thank you.
Well, now the battle lines have been drawn, and here comes the start of the race with those two boats, both going out to the front of the pack on the green flag.
And when you get right down to it, that issue will be settled right here where it belongs, on the race course. The Velocity had an early lead, but that Warlock of Richard Granville is now out front. And here's an interesting point. The Twisted Chicks, where'd they come from? They are in fourth place, the best showing they've had all year. Not only in fourth, but a strong fourth, closing on third.
And now we move up to second place, and this is the O2 boat, the Warlock F102, and Granville wants nothing better than to see that boat out in the front.
Now, here's the protestee. This is Benny Robertson and Mitch Miller. On a calm course like this, tunnel boat veteran Benny Robertson, you're not going to catch him.
Back in third place was the 38, and look at the 56 moving up for third. Twisted Chicks has now moved up for third place. This is one of their best showings.
Another Florida-built Phantom, Raising Cane. Twisted Chicks is a Phantom, so is Raising Cane. That's the best this whole design has done all season. These boats are very competitive today. They obviously like this calm course.
That is a great look at that number 17 that's sitting in fifth. But here, look at this, a little bit later. 38 has now passed the O2 for second place. They have got to be smiles as big as their faces on right now. This is absolutely a great ride for them.
F-106, total laser care. They're also flying around the course, but nobody's flying like this one. The F-160 Fountain Wallace taking the win in Factory 1.
Great job at driving, and second place is the Twisted Chicks. That is their best finish this year. There's your winner, and there's a lot of happiness. Mitch Miller is got that flag flying high for the Wallace Fountain in the F-160.
And the Twisted Chicks right there in second place. They almost caught the Wallace Fountain.
And it's a big battle as far as the points are concerned as they go down to St. Petersburg, Florida for the championships. 982 for Warlock, 850 for the Ale House team. And there you see the rest of the field as they finish it out. Well, the F-275 has a new look. The Coast Guard is sponsoring Benny Robertson and Mitch Miller here. A few weeks of testing on these waters have made them even faster. But they're just one of 3 fast fountains that expect to dominate.
And here's another one of those fast fountains. The F257 Utz Quality Foods Pier 57 is coming off a real big win in Islamorada.
We go to the race, and on the course, it is the 75 out in front right from the start. Look at that pack right behind him, though.
Boy, does Benny Robertson like this course. He gets out of a Factory 1 boat, jumps into Factory 2, and takes the lead. This is Fountain Water, the F275 in its best showing of the year, making a nice move into 4th place. But look at that formula right there. The Awesome has moved its way up into 3rd place and is now challenging the Utz for 2nd. Formula doing very well on this course. Right now, it's a Formula and Fountain race. Nobody right now has the keys to this one, though. F275, that is a Coast Guard-sponsored fountain. And when you've got Benny Robertson on calm water, as you know, that's a tough combination.
F257 running in 2nd place, followed by the 77, the Awesome Boat. They are just tick-tocking just a little bit on their back end. There's the Twisted Sticks. You just saw the Twisted Chicks in the race before. Now the husband is aboard the Twisted Sticks.
F242 making an inside line, going by the Twisted Sticks, making a nice move, but not nice enough to catch your winner, the F275 Fountain, sponsored by the Coast Guard.
Well, that is a great win for them, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. The Coast Guard sponsors the boat, and yes, they get to bring in the checker. While the Coast Guard captain, he rides with the winners. Let's take a look at the final F2 results as they head to the World and National Championships for this class in St. Petersburg. Lake Cumberland Marine is dominating, but did you believe we had 22 boats take the start? Wow.
We had enough lead. The Utz boys were behind us. They were giving us a fit. I didn't want to run as hard as we did, but we had to really run hard to stay in front of those guys. They got my hats off to them. They're doing a hell of a job driving that boat, because those waves, it wasn't big. It's just the way that we had to run in the troughs. It's very difficult to keep the boat level.
In national points standings, you've got Lake Cumberland, that's a fountain. Over Treadwell Motorsports, that's a Formula. And finally, number 3, National Marine, another fountain. It's a manufacturer's duel in Factory 2.
Well, the sights we see in the APBA are quite often unbelievable. And today in Super V, the results are no exception.
In the Factory 3 class, these are your twin-engine inboard cats. Roll-Offs was first, Team Boathouse second, and Team Tellian, the new team this year, a respectable 3rd place.
Over in Factory 4, we saw Catastrophic take first place, followed by the red-hot Citrus Shine. Cat Can Do rounded out the top 3. North Carolina, here's your winner in the Outlaw A, the Extreme Motion.
In the Outlaw B, B96 Motorola.
In C, it was the C4 Mountain Dew.
And in the E-Class, stock boats, Team Velocity.
Big changes in the Citgo Super Guard. Steve David on the left here has left the team. Nigel Hook has found a reliable replacement.
We brought back Jay Johnson as a driver for this race in the World Championships. Jay raced with us for a couple of years, last year and the year before, when we got the World Championship and the National Championship. And maybe it's a luck thing, you know, maybe he's going to add a little bit to the team and get us back on the top of the podium.
And to get on the podium, they've got to knock this boat off. The number 57, FountainUSA.com, has dominated the class. They've won 4 out of 6 races.
And here we go for the start. This is on board the 21, the Citgo Super Guard. Nigel Hook is in there along with Jay Johnson, and they are really trying to set it out. There goes the green flag, and we are now off and racing. Citgo Super Guard trying to take the lead from the start.
Now what you have is Super V and Super V Light. The Super Vs, they're supercharged. The Super V Lights, they're not. But they're all running full race motors. Look at the FountainUSA.com making a move on 2nd place, coming around the north turn. Here's your leader, the Matco Voyager. That boat set a record this weekend and is now out in the front in Super V class.
2nd place is the number 57, the FountainUSA.com Pier 57 boat. And in 3rd place, Citgo Super Guard with that driver back in the seat, Jay Johnson.
And the Citgo Super Guard already is coming off the pace. Here's your leader in Super V Light, the #1 Pier 57 Fountain. That and its sister ship were expected to dominate here today, but there's a dark horse out there. Number 17 Tivoli with Joe Skro and Peter Myers. Those guys are very competitive.
Look at this battle. Wow, they are neck and neck going down there. A perfect ride, as you can see on the inside, the red, white, and blue boat trying to hold that line, so he forces Pier 57 on the outside to stay wide.
Now the number 21 Citgo Super Guard, he too is flying. The problem is in these calm conditions, those supercharged engines are very temperamental. None of these boats can hold this pace for the entire race. And look right now, the FountainUSA.com is beginning to fade back. It looks like they're beginning to experience some engine problems as the Voyager pulls back out to the lead.
So many times we talk about these calm seas, and look what's happening here. The engine is overheated. There's smoke coming out of the number 57 in the Super V Light. The 17 Tivoli has taken the lead.
Over the Pier 57 #1. I told you the guys in that 17, they are tough. Joe Skro, Peter Meyer.
Number 2, Pier 57 Fountain, now in third place. 81 has trouble. Voyager has problems and is slowing down on the course, and they are getting lapped. Oh my goodness gracious, they are in position now. There you can see, lapped by the Citgo Super Guard. Oh my goodness, that's the problem with these engines when they are run wide open like that.
Well, the Citgo Super Guard is not running very well either, and the FountainUSA.com is already dead in the water. Look at the Super Guard. She's down to about 30 miles an hour.
No question, this is now a battle of survival. Can they keep them going to at least cross the finish line and pick up the points? That's what's going through the mind of the guys on that boat now.
Superchargers give you tremendous power, but they also stress the engines enormously. It is so difficult to keep these Super Vs running for an entire race, especially in calm water. Look at this. The Citgo Super Guard hatches open, dead in the water. They've got a lap and a half now, a one-lap lead over this boat here, the 81 Matco Voyager. Do they have enough time to unlap themselves one more time? And they are coming to a halt. Basically, this race is being won by the boat that went the furthest, which right now is the Citgo Super Guard.
That's it. Citgo Super Guard manages to limp home and take the points, and they are going to be happy with it. They're not going to turn him back in just because of that. Matco Voyager gets home for second, FountainUSA.com in third.
Well, you know, this was a really good time to have this to happen, because if you've got a sense of humor, this is a place for it. We had a tough race with so many things going wrong, but the big thing is to have a Scarab, a Worldcraft Scarab, win a fountain race.
They won the battle, but they lost the war. The winners of the national championship, #1, FountainUSA.com, 922 points over the Matco Voyager, 908. A bittersweet result. In the Super V Lights, Fountain Pier 57 over the Fountain Shockwave over the Fountain Tivoli. A sweep for Fountain here in their home waters. Your national championship, 948 points, separates the Fountain Pier 57 basically from everybody else.
In just a few moments, Billy Moff and Joey Impressio will climb aboard the brand new #5, the WHM Motorsports, and you know what? It's being picked as a favorite, even though it hasn't even run a race yet.
Jerry brought on Jerry's problem.
Disappointed that we had to do it, but I don't think we really were left with any choice.
The man that held that first Super Cat checkered flag is out. Jerry Galbraith is no longer the throttleman for the number 76 Fountain Mercury. The APBA suspended him for 6 months for comments deemed detrimental to the sport.
If you're going to have a sport and there's going to be rules, everyone has to follow them. Jerry, unfortunately, thinks that he's above everybody else on rules.
Our credibility and our integrity was at stake, and so we took the action that we thought was necessary to make sure everybody understood where we were coming from.
This is John Tomlinson. Hugh Fuller has hired him to replace Galbraith on the throttles.
I'm worried about JT. I almost would rather have Jerry back.
Pat and Felix Sorales know that the door is open for a charge to the national championship title. Their win in Isla Mirada means they trail the 76 by only 9 points.
So they take the course, and they are looking to get some speed right off. There goes the green flag, And here come the big guys, the Super Cats.
There's no superchargers in there, but boy, when these boats wind up, they fly, literally, on a cushion of air. These cats literally rely on air to lift them off the water and to gain amazing speeds. They also handle very well, and this course was designed for them. They are going to go around this course like bullets today.
Well, they are packed up right off the start. No question about it. Cat Can Do has tried to get out in the lead right off the bat, and they are holding off the rest of the pack. But boy, I'll tell you what, they better be careful out there. We've already seen engine problems developing. Cat Can Do is challenged right now as the battle develops between Cat Can Do and the blue boat, Don Q Cristal.
Out in the lead right now is the brand new Tommy Bahama. The Randy Sism designed hull has the lead with the extraordinary inboard. Whoa! Hugh Fuller just came back in, going into the turn, and just about backflipped Relief Band. They had to swallow a lot of water.
The leaders go into the turn right now, and as you can see, Don Q Cristal is still trying to close on the Tommy Bahama boat. There you see the yellow and white Tommy Bahama boat and the blue Don Q Cristal.
The Tommy Bahama, the only boat in the race with the Bootsy drives. Italian-designed direct inboards. Everybody else running the Mercruiser number 6 drives. Here's the brand new WHM making a move on the 44 Spirit of Puerto Rico. The WHM, they just got her set up for this race. They barely completed her in time for the start.
That was a battle for 4th place. Here is the leader now. He has passed Tommy Bahama that you see still trying to hold on. It looks like 41 may have some problems. Cat Can Do just passed him for 2nd place.
Well, the Cat Can Do, that's an extra wide tunnel. They like these calm conditions. Relief Band back in the hunt, going on the inside of Tommy Bahama. Whatever speed Tommy Bahama had at the beginning of the race has gone away.
Okay, as we look further up in the pack, 76, the Fountain Mercury is now running in 2nd. They have passed the number 19 boat. They are still looking at that blue boat out in the lead, and that's where they're taking aim.
That is the story of the day. Oops, they are hooking. They're going inside the turn pin. They've got to come back and pick it up. That little miscue may have cost them the national championship.
The rule states that if they miss a buoy, they can go back and pick it up without being penalized. But, of course, going back, there you can see number 19 went by them. So now we've already had a change in position for this boat. They are all starting to go by. Relief Band just did, and there is the Don Q. That's the boat they'd have to pick up for the lead. Don Q is way out in front. There's your 2nd place boat now, the number 19 Cat Can Do.
The 76 has built themselves a mountain that they might not be able to climb. Even with JT on the sticks and his abilities, Felix Sorales, a multi-time world champion and ex-tunnel boat racer, he knows how to make his cat go quick, just as JT does in this number 76 Mercury. Look at JT pull out all of the stakes here. He's got the throttles down, the trim up with the Don Q Cristal, same mode, same speed. Oh, so quick around this calm course.
And I'll bet they're starting to hear those engines clicking a little bit louder and starting to wonder, and it looks like the number 24 as we look off the back end. You can hear the engine problems. It looks like the engine on the left side of your screen is the one that's kicking a rooster tail up and down. They've got a problem on that boat. Meanwhile, still in 4th place is the Fountain Mercury boat going through the smoke of the 24.
Yeah, the Fountain Mercury boat now moves into 4th place, but they've got to make up 3 more positions to get the national championship. Look at him roar right by. Anything he can do. Johnny Tomlinson, he's pulling out all of his tricks.
Meanwhile, the number 19 Cat Can Do is holding on to 2nd place, and here's your race leader coming across for the checkered flag, the number 88, Felix Sorales, Pat Patel, the Don Q Cristal, their 2nd race in the row. The last race in Isla Mirada they won, and there's Pat proudly displaying that checkered flag.
And here are your final results. Don Q Cristal over Cat Can Do. Fountain Mercury struggled to get back to 3rd place. They might have had the race. Oh, so close to a national championship.
The water was flat. It was a great race. Felix treated that boat like a big overgrown tunnel boat. Tommy Bahama ran real good, though. He gave us a run for the money right at the beginning, but Felix kept the nose up. Boat ran great. The course was excellent.
Well, a very happy Pat Patel in the Don Q Cristal. Final points show him the national championship. Next, he will aim at the World Championships to be held in St. Petersburg, Florida. A great season for these boats. Lots of competition all the way through. That's it from Washington, North Carolina. Rich Lors and myself, Dick Crippen, off to the World Championships in St. Petersburg. We'll see you next time there.
The APBA is sponsored by Millennium Fuel Corporation, the official fuel supplier of the APBA Offshore. And by Liberty Coach, the official motor coach of APBA Offshore. And by Citgo SuperGuard Motor Oil, the official motor oil of APBA Offshore. Citgo when it counts. The APBA is sponsored by Speedmonster.com, the presenting sponsor of the APBA Offshore Pro Series 2000.